And then all right, what happened there? Stream finished on YouTube. Oh, that's not good. Ah, God, did I have a dropout again? There's this internet connection here. It's really, really annoying. So probably, I think that Restream already started a new stream without asking it. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Oh, stream died for a sec. Yeah, I see that here. Yeah. I'm gonna copy the content and just say continuing from part 1. That's super annoying. Live game development, live indie game development, episode 15, part 2 of 2. I like this about Twitch, that it just picks it back up. So weird there. Thumbnail should be the same. All right, and then I can just continue, hopefully uninterruptedly, for the rest of the stream. There we go. I hope. Oh man, what's going on here? Weird stuff. Weird stuff. Let's see what's live right now. Now it definitely shows the right stuff. And then in 15, I'm really continuing in that link. Save. All right. Sorry, that's just dumb. Sorry for those people on Twitch. I'm really not sure why Restream quits the stream immediately, but well, I'm gonna find out if maybe it could be set differently. Oh, I just minimized all that. I want to stay looking at the stream status. Right. All right. Goody. We're back. Yes, what I was doing is actually reopening the editor. It's just like my stream. And see if the editor really has gone crazy and just saved the fact that the labels are black, but I hope not. Red. Normally they should be. They should not be black. They should be white. There we are. That was quite white. I was waiting for it, but I still needed to select that thing. Okay, so fortunately it's not red anymore, but now I'm really curious. It's also not. Oh, duh! I just didn't save that. Let's see. Maybe it okay. So I'm gonna say label style dot normal. Change that and see what it does, if anything. I did save it. Oh, there we go. Unity was still. Oh, hold on. That does work. Okay. And this is now back to normal. Right. So I have no idea why earlier. Maybe something was cached. I don't know. I don't know a lot of things. I don't know why my stream drops. Like connection drops. I don't know why Unity does this weird stuff. But now I do know that I can base this text color on. Yes, actually. It only does that one. So the other one, I still need to make sure that somehow, if it's expanded, it doesn't show that style. Content, GUI style. Let's see. Hello, hello. Why would this not be working with the style? I'm gonna go into the documentation to see. Oh, that's the layout thing. Security layout. It's actually pretty. That's a different way of doing stuff. And that's only in an editor window, I think. Editing styles, yeah, for fold out. For the headings, yes. The shown fold out state, the label show. Yeah. Optional GUI style only works. I'm gonna look that up. Editor GUI fold out style. Like what would we call it? Like expanded. Editor GUI fold out styling does not apply to fold out headers. I've changed my drawer to. Whoa, random keys green. Fold out pre-drop. Huh. Interesting. So after restarting Unity so that previous style changes are flushed. Oh, that is set style color. Set style color? What? Oh, he made that. Style. On active. Fold out green. Yikes. So is it not? It may not be normal anymore. Let's just see if that helps. Which ones do we have? Word rev focused? No. Active. Let's see if that does something. Maybe it's called active in that state. And it's not reloading automatically. Oh, maybe because I didn't launch Visual Studio from here. Well, it doesn't really make sense. Visual Studio shouldn't like give it like a call to Unity. That still doesn't work. So let's just put all of them to red and see. Yeah, tell me about it. On normal, on active, focused, on focused. No, that's so weird. But I'm gonna copy this from this guy. Yeah. And then do this. Dot text color. Oh yeah. Oh, that also makes sense. I'll just do that. Maybe it does work. Color.red. Oh, red. And then just label style. All those weird things. Why does Unity keep loading so slowly? Oh, there. So one of them was that. So now let's just get stuff out of there until it definitely shouldn't be hovered or focused, but I'll see. I'm really, really hoping that Unity will on normal. When the control is turned on. Oh, that's like shitty naming, because I thought like on normal, it's like, it sounds like a it sounds like a what do you call it, like an event or something, on normal, but of course it doesn't make sense. On normal. Okay, so off normal and on normal. So now I've got like nice feedback in there, but now it's always red. I should still first check if there's an error. Okay, so I would say, for instance, show message would be an error if there's an empty string. String error message. Wow. I don't need to give that any default value. Let's see. So that thing, that's a string value. Message is actually just a message string. I'm doing 5 things at the same time in my head. Message. And why is this giving me headache? Oh, really? Yes. Of course, I need a block to do a declaration here. String arguments, get in there, and in extra info is that message. But if message, yeah, if message is if it's empty or null, so string is null or empty message, then we say args error is true, and also error message should be message empty. Message is empty. So now let's use it. For instance, over here, type-based property, and then error info should be, if there's an error, it should be the error message, and if there's no error, it should just be blank, and then I can just add it to this error info, to this label, and of course it needs a space there. Come on. Error. Oh, what? Unassigned. Oh, of course. I'm not making any sense here today. And Unity still not automatically reloading. Now I hope that this shows up these two show up differently. They do not. That's quite shitty. Oh, of course they do not. There's no... Man, I'm not making any sense. Okay, so if I remove this error, nice, it does work. Okay, snakes go back to sleep. Now, let's say I change this, huh? If error, then I actually put that stuff on. Reload, please. Yes. And nice. That's what I wanted. So GUI styles working. Showing game, showing log, that's fine. Let's see if I can do anything, like if there's no targets for stuff. Let's see. For any of them that need a target, I would have to check if not hide target info. That means there's a target. And then if num targets is 0, then the error should be let's not put error there. Error. It's incomplete. Error is just a weird way of saying it's incomplete. If there are no targets, I will say it's an error. Whoop. And the error message will be no targets. No target, because it could be singular. That's good. And then is there other stuff that needs a target? And that doesn't need a target, but that's really a singular event. Other events, those need targets, so they will automatically have this error now. This looks pretty good. All right, so let's try it out. I still should fix that custom array thingy I built, but if I put this to 0, it's really not 0. Now it's 0. So somehow this works, but entering it there, well, put to sleep, 0 targets, no target. It's a bit double. I could actually say I don't want the it's actually bigger than 1 there. I don't want the extra info if it's 0. That makes more sense. No target. Right, cool. So as soon as I make this 1, it still should show an error that is, or this won't be done. Well, how did I get the target property? I have the targets property, so listener. I'll actually need this all the time. And then, because I want to check here, if num target is null, yes, and then I want to check if or listener is null. And here we go. Yes, no target, cool. And as soon as I put something there that I want to put to sleep, then no problem. Pretty cool. And now I've got my pinball event there. Put to sleep doesn't launch anything there yet, but I think I want to get to do something with the UI now, so I'm just gonna change it up a little bit. So because the pinball event needs a event listener, outlane is an event listener, and if triggered event type, it just does sleep. It doesn't matter what type, so I should really check if event type put to sleep, then we're actually gonna sleep. With any other thing, we just don't do anything. Sleep, yeah, should already work. I'm not gonna test it now. I'm just gonna start some bit of the main menu because I promised that in the stream. Yes, in the stream description. So let's do that. So like I said, it's not been designed yet. So I'm gonna look up mobile game main menu. There's lots of examples there. So I'm just gonna make a first version. I'm just gonna look quickly through all this tutorial. Wow, that's that's super interesting. That's like you've got that on there, huh? Well, maybe it's just game UI. Oh, that's why maybe it's not a real game. I would say like if you publish your game with tutorial in the menu, that would not be so great. Okay, so yeah, that looks like we've got play options credits, play options, like medals, play, and then extras, store, play, social stuff, sometimes levels, a store again, and indeed those medals. Credits is a thing that comes up a lot of the times. All right, yeah, makes sense. Play, remove ads, shop, settings. Right, okay. Let's just start out with the UI. All right, so I'm going to go to UI scale. At that. What I can also just do is not show my default layers, but there's quite a lot of them. So what I could also just do is disable that thing, but it won't. Yeah, it will disable everything underneath it. Yes. So right now I'm just hiding the main table there so that I don't really, it doesn't bother me there. So I'm gonna first make a portrait version. And this is actually the UI. I'm going to clone it or not. No, for now I'm just gonna leave that thing in there. I've got a menu system that I built, but I'm not gonna put that in there yet. It's got transitions. It's got maybe I think I'll still make a Unity asset store thing out of that, because it just takes a little bit of extra, like making an editor window, to make that into something like Figma or XD, that you could just build your UI in the Unity editor and then link buttons to each other with like arrows and have your own wire flow all in the Unity editor, which also will make it work. And I've seen some of those things in the asset store, but not good ones. Like not there. I've used one for a little while. It was awkward to use. It was not like its UX was. It was really made by programmers for programmers. So I think I could definitely do better. So image. I'm going to use a raw image because I don't need any like slicing or stuff like that. What image am I going to use? The logo. Do I have that already? Of course I do not. I'm going to look for that. Do I have a separate logo thingy here somewhere? Let's see. Hatchball. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here. Yes, of course. We've been working on this game for a while. Maybe There's so many different ones. I should logo. Here it is. Logo. It's a UI sprite that if you have a 2D game, it would do this by default, but I'm making a 3D game, so I really need to change that. And now I can have the logo in there. Set native size would, oh, that's actually pretty well fitting. Good. So what I'm gonna also do is create a panel, but I'm not gonna create a panel like it. I'm just gonna create a background that fits the entire area, and that's just gonna be like that. I'm going to name this logo and name this background. This is gonna be quite black, and then some alpha value, and then we'll see later what we'll do with this. The logo, and I'm actually gonna create another background for the not a background, just a parent for the in-game stuff. So 0 to 1, it just means it fits the whole thing. When I do 0, 0, 0, it will just go from that point to that point, and we'll keep moving along whichever size my game gets to be. I'll put the in-game stuff in there. So this will be in-game UI. It actually should be like in-game UI with a dash. Doesn't really matter that much, but still. Logo goes on the background because background is the main menu. Logo is there. So this has no texture and just a color. This has a logo, and now we see that it's like becoming something. I will actually make this different because I want it to be the main menu. I'll just make it to be the color, that approximate color that we gave it. Something like that. I don't think it's really like that, but I'll have to look it up. It's something very like nice, bright blue and colorful, like this game is. Then I'm not showing UI now, so let's put that back. I wasn't actually looking at it over here. Yes, so I was moving it. If I do shift, I move it over only one axis, and then I could just put it wherever I want it. But now I'm actually gonna check. It's anchored in the middle, which I like. It's just all from there, because now if I change to a different kind of you see, whatever kind of screen I have, it will just be there in the middle. Why is that? Well, that's because I used the canvas scaler on expand, so that little bit makes it always show at least this area, and then anything that it's like either higher or wider will just go around it. So what I can do with that is make everything, but this is actually I do have a portrait UI for a good reason, because I really don't want the landscape UI to only have stuff in the middle there. So yeah, that's not going to be nice. So for now, I'm designing the mobile main menu for the mobile version. So I'm gonna like get the like iPad kind of ratio, and the more like wider tablets, so higher tablets, it's kind of like Android tablets have this sometimes kind of ratio, and anything that's out there will be in between 3.4 and 916. So that. Right, I'm going to design on the full HD. so that all my like measurements here also make sense. Like 1280 720, that is actually 1280 720 in here, so that's nice. Yes, so I'm gonna need some nice buttons now. This is the in-game UI. Let's not use that right now. That's confusing. So now if I select everything, oh, that's still gonna select stuff that is hidden. Okay, I didn't know that. Well, so in the main menu, actually, no, this is not true. In-game UI should even be off when I'm showing main menu. Then again, also should maybe the main level and the upper plateau should also be like off when I'm still having the main menu. So let's actually switch them off. All right, I've got a logo now. I need some buttons. So what I'm gonna do now is create a button. It's TextMesh Pro. Always only use TextMesh Pro. Text is just old-fashioned, not so nice stuff. And I'm gonna just slide it to something that looks nice, and it's mobile, so I have to make sure that even on a smaller phone it would be clickable. Maybe I will make a separate menu for tablets and a separate menu for phones later, because it's nice to be able to do that. What I could also do here is use constant physical size, but then you get in trouble when it goes to like really small screens. There's also a different script I wrote sometime for like menus where you actually design the menu on a physical size, and then if the screen gets too small, you switch to the like minimum layout so that it just scales everything down. So people who are like have really small phones would definitely be used to small buttons. So I could do that. Then I'd really have to rescale stuff. So let's think, does this make sense or not? Oh, hold on. Yeah, points is the smallest one here because it's 12 points. Inches is like a lot of points, like I think, yes, 96. Millimeters will be like 60, so centimeters definitely a lot. Points is 1. So that's the smallest one I have. Would I want to use a physical size for my initial design? I could. What would be the reason not to do it? I'm actually not sure. I actually am not sure. It's nice to have this menu that doesn't like scale up super large, and then I can actually build a menu that works on a phone and on a tablet at the same time. Or do I want it to scale with the screen? No, I don't want it to scale with the screen. I'm actually gonna do this version right now. Let's do 250 or something, and then 80. Okay, so on my screen, this button has a specific size. So what I should check is that when I actually build this thing, I'm gonna scale this in the old-fashioned way. Come on, where are you? There. Scale it this way. Whoop. So now anything I build will have that physical size. So if I do this, it will really change everything. Actually super weird. You know why? I should not design on that then, because it's scaled here. So if you, yeah, this is a good one. Here we go with a little Unity tip. If you design UI on the physical scaling setting, you should always use those aspect ratios. Because if you use a specific resolution and you forget about your scale there, you're screwed, because, yeah, well, let's see about that. Actually, also, if you design on a physical resolution, let's just go into my thing here. It says 96 dots per inch. Like, should be PPI because it's not dots, that's actually printing, but people keep using DPI as a term, so let's keep with that. DPI, that means I will have 96 pixels per inch, and now actually these units are points. So DPI, will it be points? No, it's a weird thing. So what you have to know, if you want to do this right, that is that if I now have 96, you'd expect it maybe to be 1 inch. I actually don't know. Do I have a measuring something here? I don't think I do. Well, I have a sheet of paper. Sheet of paper is that's like taxes. Let's not show that to everyone. Sheet of paper is 20 centimeters. So if I fold this, it's going to be 10 centimeters. If I fold that again, it's going to be 5 centimeters. That's strange. 20. Oh, it's 21 centimeters. So it's a little bit over. So that's nice, because if I fold that again, it's going to be 2.5. Just a little over 2.5, which is 1 inch. Now I'll check with my screen. You guys won't be able to see that. So this is just not completely right on my screen. It could have to do with Unity not knowing the exact DPI for my screen, but I'm actually pretty yeah, let's check. Let's see if the scaling factor on macOS actually does something with that. So I'm going to change and scale this. It's probably going to mess up my entire stream here. I'm going to scale my screen down. Yeah, you're just seeing a little bit of it now. Unity did change that, and it's kind of exactly the same. So okay, that's pretty fair. I'm going to put it back. Hopefully my stream will go back with it. And let's see if I got it back. Yes, it looks like I've got it back. Good. All right. So to be fair, they did pick up the change from the OS, and this seems like it's a good way to do stuff. So right now I can physically go to my screen, like touch the button over there, just like see with my hand, okay, it's like this big, it's like this big, and feel if the size of the menu feels right. I can just see it here and like, okay, maybe change this to some size of a phone. You see now that if I change it, that's because it's physical size. It won't scale. So what I can also do with this is put in a physical size of a display that I know, and now it's actually on PC, Mac, and Linux. If you change your platform to iOS or Android, it will actually give you options in there automatically provided by Unity of known screen sizes. You can actually use those to design the actual layout, but they're not super abundant. So what I could also do is go here to Mr. Google and say some common or not common, like screen sizes most used smartphones, something like that. I don't know. Oh well, here you go. Viewport, resolution, screen size, and DPI for the most popular. Definitely. There's so many people making apps that everyone wants to know this. So here we go. What I'm gonna have to design for this like diagonal screen sizes. If you look at this this little bit, you see that a lot of them are still 4.7 inches, and smaller, the 4 inches, just, what is it, 4%. So 4.7 inches seems like a good cutoff point. So the 4.7 inches, and then if you look at resolution, let's see, where's it? Here, like you've got all the different things over here. That's pretty cool. Like 4.7 inches is like an iPhone 6, 7, 8. That's the standard size for that. For Android phones, it's like it really starts at 5 inches. For UI phones, it starts at 5.1 inches. Motorola 5 inches. So 5 inches is the most commonly used kind of size. 5 inches and 4.7 inches. So you see that here. 5.5 inches is actually used a lot. 4.7. So if I design for 4.7, I can't be wrong. I mean, I can still be wrong, but for the size of the buttons, and if they're actually fitting, it will definitely work. So what I'm going to do there, I'm going to see 4.7. That should be like an iPhone 6, 7, or 8. And I think Unity already has these screen sizes in there, but I'm actually not sure what they would do with the resolution difference. Because if I have, for instance, the iPhone 6s or 7 or 8, they will have 326 dpi or ppi actually, but well. And then the plus versions are 5.5 inch, but they have the same. They have a different DPI, so I'm really curious. And also, like the Samsung devices will have different DPI from that, and etc. etc. So I'm curious what they actually did in there with the menu. Oh, there's so much to re-import. What happens here when Unity is doing this, just to, like, for those who didn't know yet, what's happening now is it's making the specific compression for every one of these images that's suitable for now it's iOS, but it's for the platform that you're importing to. So importing just means it's going to have ready the cached versions of all the compressions of the pictures. You can also see the compression in the inspector, I believe. I'm actually not sure if you'll see the original one or the important one. I think it should be the imported one. But I would not put my hand in the fire for that. Here you go. So here you see already that you've got these enormous amount of different devices that they pre-made here for us. But now I'm really not sure if they actually put the DPI stuff in there. So let's see if I select an iPhone. That's quite weird. This is the super small iPhones, iPhone 5. Where is the normal version? Like iPhone. Oh, here, iPhone portrait. So they say that is the size of an iPhone. I really don't believe this. My screen is way too big for that. That would be the size of an iPhone. If I hold my bigger iPhone on there, I see that it's really not the case. So let's see if I put it to free aspect. No, it will still stay the same. So do not use these if you are doing physical scaling. Do not use these kind of things, because I put it to iPhone X portrait and it's ridiculously large. I've got my iPhone X here, it's like twice as small. Maybe if I put it to low resolution, no, it doesn't even work because it's set to a specific resolution. No, does not work. So if you do physical resolutions on this, you should not. Did I press? Yeah, I pressed Unity. You should not use these presets. That's a trap. It's not a trap, but it's something that you could fall for and think, okay, I'm doing well. And then if you use physical resolution, maybe people in general don't do physical resolution because it's like scary. I mean, it is, but if you know what you're doing, it's fine. So right now I'm going to actually, this is not really nice. I'm going to actually go back. I know it's going to take a little bit of time, but I want to switch platform again. and then just stay in the desktop designing mode to to make sure that I can scale the settings for any platform, because then I can make presets for myself. So what I'm actually gonna do is build presets. I did this before. I'm gonna build presets here for my screen, specifically this screen that I have here. So do not use these settings that I'm going to use here for your own screen. You have to come up with your own bits. I know the size of my screen. If I know the size of my screen, I know its height. If I know its height, I know like how big am I going to make this screen, and then I can actually make like for instance, if I do this full HD, sorry, portrait, and I've got scale 1, then it's that big. So for now, that really doesn't work if I want to design for, say, a phone. So that's not going to be a phone for me, even though that could be the resolution for a phone. It's a switch of state of mind. So I'm gonna pop this out, I want to say. Come on. I'll pop it to another screen and then have it popped out. That's a bit of a thing that Unity not so good at. Here we go. So what I can do now is see how much space this takes up on my screen. And actually quite weird there. Well, it's 1920, while my screen should be 4K. So this scaling here does not really make any sense to me, but that is Mac OS for you. So if I scale my screen up to the settings that I just showed, it will just scale the UI to something else. If I keep it at this setting, I can make use of the fact that I see that I can just measure that, like put something to it and just say, okay, this bit now is a certain height, but I can also just hold my phone screen next to that, the actual screen, and just start moving this down. Now, this is not a 9:16 resolution. Let's see, it is, well, I could start by putting that in 1125 2436, 1125 1125 2436, I said, I think. Yes. Oh, I said it, but that's also something. So iPhone 10 on LG 4K normal. So I'm really doing this to make sure that I know that that's the setting for my normal screen. I have to edit this until it's right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scale this thing down and then hold my phone next to it until it matches, like completely matches. So I'm gonna have to be very accurate here because I want to not make any. That's it. So 0.42 times that resolution. So what I'm just doing is I'll take my calculator, 1125 times 0.42. So that's 472, and then 472 by 1024. Let's just keep it at that. And then I'll edit that one. You can do that. 472 by 1023. Well, let's just keep it at what it is, and not go round stuff. It's just dumb. And now we can scale this to 1, and this should exactly match. Now I can put my phone up to the screen again, and it should exactly match the exact measurements of my phone, which it does not. That's actually super weird, because I just did that. So it's just slightly too big. That's super strange. I'll try this again. I wasn't that much off, was I? I thought I was at just... boom. There we go. 0.984. Super strange. Super strange. But I will do it. 472. Oh! I made a typo. That's why it's wrong. There we go. I had a typo there. So, good thing I wasn't wrong, hopefully. Let's see. It's completely matching here. And it's kind of almost completely matching there. That's super weird, though. I'm gonna just take a few pixels off the width because it doesn't really match. So that means that the aspect ratio is not the same. But I just want to design it as it is here. I might test this out with a test pattern. Yes, this is good. So I'll put something on this of this size, like with a line. I could show you this to test out that my size actually works. So right now this stretches along because I've used the specific scaling thing. This only will work when my screen is set to this display mode. So it's really mind fuck, if you will. And there we go. So now I can see that this size, I don't really like that size, but yeah, well, who am I? What it can do is mix stretching stuff with physical stuff. For instance, I could use this one. I could take its width, actually just chop the sides off because it really doesn't make sense. That is super weird. Oh, wow, that's new. All right, I won't do it then. I'll just edit it. Hatchball. I'll just crop it here manually. I really don't need that space. Yeah, texture space that is unused. So now it's cropped, is it? Yes, it is. Ooh. Save. Go back to Unity here. That's cropped. Cool. That's suck now. Yes, there we go. So native size really doesn't make any sense anymore in physical mode. But what I can do now is just let this be related to the width. So I could do 0 to 1 and just have that be the width. But then I would have a problem because its scale, oh, hold on. Its scale would be related to what? That's super strange. Yes, that's what I want. Its scale would be still the Y scale wouldn't work. So what I need to do now then is, like, it's gonna be awkward, is tweak this until that works. And that really is something you cannot do like with the naked eye. So if I do that, trick I use is I make a copy, I put that actually to a fixed ratio, set it to native size, for instance, and then just scale it down. That's fine. Whoop. And then I did that pretty well, but as you see, it's not perfect. Well, I just think this time might be one of those times where I've surprised myself. No. You see that this is not perfect. So I align the top, and then I actually put this behind it, and the new one should be on top. You see, like this. I can now tweak it until it's the right aspect ratio. And this is even not like ultra correct. This should be on 0. And then I should be able to tweak this until it's perfect. So I can zoom in and like make it perfect. I think this is already quite perfect. Oh, 296. Oh, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Doesn't really make... Oh, top is not a number now. That's super weird. What happened there? I did a divide by 0 and now it's lost. All right. I'm gonna start again. Copy component. Paste component values. Okay, so 0, 1. Oh, I could do this. 0, 1. Duh. Okay, never mind what I did before. Must not be my best day here. When it's scaled, I could just use it like this. Why? What was I thinking? No. Okay. Unity will do it for me. But now I have this scaling factor. Do I care? Not superbly, no. Though it is quite strange to me that this is now 0 and 1. Oh yes, it is scaled, so that's the problem actually here. Yep, that's the problem. Because when I do start doing this, it will still be scaled. And I want it to be using those coordinates. So yeah, I'm basically gonna have to do this. But I could... Right, that should be it. It's not exactly the same, but it's good enough. Because I'm not using anything pixel perfect. So right now I think this is actually too large. So what I'm going to do is scale it down a little bit. The one is actually scaled. Why is that half is... Oh, put that too. I'm going to scale it down a little bit. Oh, I'm going to have to hide that one. It should look like that, at least. All right. Put that back. Now I'm going to have to tweak this. That's 13.6. That's not the one I wanted to tweak. This is the one I wanted to tweak. Oh, I can't do that, of course. What I can do here is make an educated guess. Oh, an educated guess. I made a typo again. 5%. No, it's not 5%. Let's say 6%. This is really awkward stuff. But I'm still showing it because this is the only way I know how to do this properly. Because after I do this properly, you're gonna have a menu, a logo that just scales with the screen. And so this is 1 minus that, and then we get that width. The top will have the same. No, it won't. It will have like that divided by 2.4 or something. Okay, let's try 0.03. Oh, that's minimum. Minimum will be like something completely different. Maximum. Maximum will be 1 minus that, so that's too low. Will I actually use that? Yeah, we'll have to. No, I can't. Dang. I can't use this system now because I'm not using the... what am I thinking? Alright. Forget about this if you are doing Unity. Okay, so you see here how difficult it is. I was actually going to scale this with the screen size, but then I won't keep the same aspect ratio. I can do that if I change this to image. Maybe. Image. No, Sprite only does that. Ah, that's just horrible. So basically, I would definitely be looking for some way that somebody made this work, because I would not know. How to do this. Okay, like if you look at this and you see like this is coming to like, it's gonna be fine if I just keep tweaking until it's okay. So let's say let's say we'd have this and it's okay. This one, oh, deleted the wrong one. Whoa, yes, no, I didn't. This is good. So this one is now attached to like specific points with the screen. So if I change this to the other one, you see it stretches now. That's why it doesn't work. Okay, so this is another way to do an image. There's no way to keep it at its normal like aspect ratio while stretching in the width. Or I should do some very, very smart anchoring. Could I do some very smart anchoring that really makes this work? Okay, so the first thing I would do is like make this be... No, it would still always be anchored to the sides. It just doesn't work like that. All right. Shame. Okay, so the other thing I will do is then use the old-fashioned trick. There's this canvas, this sort order 0. I'll create a new canvas. I'll actually copy this one because I don't. So the dumb thing about this, I'll have to turn it on separately when doing main menu, but if I scale this one with screen size, and I'll get rid of the button because it doesn't belong here, in-game UI doesn't belong here. Hold on, what? Why is it called logo? That is so super weird. When did that happen? Huh. Did I do that? Oh, well. Okay. So I will just get the logo in there. Just that. This logo, that logo will go. This logo will stay and be just anchored to that position. So doesn't really matter anymore even what I do, because this one is gonna scale with screen size anyway. It will be in the middle, 0, and I could just, oh, oops, that should be, interesting. No, I'll anchor that to the top, and then I'll just make this work in terms of, I could scale, I could also do this, doesn't really matter. Oh, right. Now I know that it's the right size, and then I can just move it down a little bit, and I've got my logo. This will now scale with the screen and that will not. So weirdly enough, that could happen if I just put it to this one, for instance. Oh, the other one, that one, for instance. I could just show, like, this is what it will do. That one will go along with the screen. It will not. That's super interesting. Oh, because it's on expand. So it will go along with the screen size, but only up till specific. No, it doesn't. What? Oh, I didn't change it. Man, I'm so not doing it right today. So gonna do ×5 again. Yeah, seems about right. It's its original size again. And now it shows that this is what it shows now. That thing does scale with the screen size. Finally, that thing does scale with the screen size so that it always like optimum, maximum size, but the buttons stay a specific size. So the buttons will be the nice size for buttons, to press buttons. Like that's it, just visually appealing, but also for using your finger, because it's going to be mobile. This especially the Hatchery, I expect people to use mobile, and or the pinball game can be played on an iPad or like a tablet very easily. So now I've got this going. You see, this is 96 means 1 inch. I'm really not so comfortable with inches, as should nobody be, but I know it's 2.54 centimeters, so I can now just know that about 38 pixels is 1 centimeter. I even don't really need to know, because I could just look here on my screen and see for myself, okay, that's that big, and then see if that's a correct size. But if I'm looking up minimum sizes that buttons should be for accessibility purposes, like accessibility should also always talk about accessibility. Minimum touch screen button size. Right, they say pixels. Well, that's really not anything helpful. And Android here says 48 by 48 dp results in a physical size of about 9 millimeters regardless of screen size. So there we go. So 10 millimeters, 7 to 10 millimeters recommended target. And that's what Android Material Design Guidelines says. So I'm gonna stick with that. It also makes sense already for me. I never looked it up, to be honest. So that means that 38 is about the height of my elements. I'm gonna make it just a little bit bigger because it's still, it's still game and stuff. That's the minimum height that touch element should have. If I just put my finger to the screen, it makes sense, which I can now do. I could use this setting to see if it's still okay there, and I need to definitely use the 3x4 setting on a smaller screen. I need to make a smallest version. That's what I was gonna do. The 4.7 would be the smallest that I would design for, but I actually want to make sure that either it works on a 4-inch screen, or I make a separate version that works on a 4-inch screen. So let me check. iPhone 4 screen dimensions. I actually have an iPhone 4 to test on. I'm not sure that it still works. I could put a build on that even. I said dimensions, right? The dimensions, screen dimensions. No, that's still silly. I want to know the display there. It's actually Wikipedia, of course. People had that stuff. There's also just a... Oh man, there's... I didn't bookmark it or something, but there's a page that has like a lot of different resolutions and screen sizes next to each other. But let's just use 3.5 inch. Hallelujah. That is very small. Diagonally is 9.8 centimeters. So, ouch. Okay. 9.8 centimeters is not a lot. 960, 640. I'll just make a sample thingy here. 960, 640. Yeah, so 640, 960. Let's do that. And then I have to make this into 8.9 centimeters. Oh my god, that's so small. So let's make this 8.9. Let's do this and just rotate it until it has the right angle. Whoop. It does not. Oh, it does have the right angle. Like that. It's still 890, so this is the size that the screen would have approximately. Yes. Well, approximately. That's super silly. Then I know that it's 4.8 by 7.3 centimeters. I could have just done the math, but this is quicker. 4.9, 7.3 centimeters. Darn. I could have found that somewhere on the internet as well. 4.9, 7.3. Or I look down in my bag and see if I actually got it here. Nope. Don't think so. No, didn't think so. Actually can't use this if I don't know the screen size of the iPhone X or iPhone 10. iPhone X screen dimensions. Here we go. 70. Macworld. Screen dimensions. Width. There we go. Display. No, that's the display. That's the width of the total thing. Well, still, no. Screen dimensions. Display. That's the same thing. Technical specifications. Here we go. Let's comment. Display area. There we go. Oh, that's nice. That's convenient indeed. Okay. Lead centimeters by lead millimeters by 6.18. I minimized that. 618 by lead, and there we have the difference in screen sizes. That's like modern phone, old phone. but now I can just do the math of comparing the two. 618, 488. 488 divided by 618, 0.789, and where's my Unity? There. So I can make the setting for the iPhone 4 super, I guess iPhone 5 even. That also has that weird small thing. And then it would be, I'll just first make it the same as the iPhone 10, iPhone 4 on, let's say 5 on LG 4K normal, and then I'll save that. I'll 465 times this, 367, rounding a bit here and there, but that's not really a problem. 367, and then the height. Oh, that's not here, that's here. The height is 731 lead. 731 lead, and that's that times, what was it? 1023. So 559. Whoa, that's gonna be small. Alright, so now I see that for this size, I do want to make different buttons, because if I use the modern convention that a button has to be, well, 1 centimeter high, and you actually see these dimensions here, not these dimensions here, the other ones, that I just calculated here, it's like, it's only 7 centimeters high, so this thing fits here 7 times, and that's it. So if I want to make a menu, I really need to scale that down. So that's why for these sizes, I'm just not going to do that. What I am going to do is going to look at the sizes of more used screens, those 1041, 585. Just going to put them down, 1041. You see, that's not a huge difference. So of course iPhone 10 is already not so wide, so that's a convenience. I'm going to do the same thing and create a preset here for my screen for the iPhone 6, 7, 8 on, well, let's just say 8 on LG 4K normal. That's my screen, and then I'm gonna make the same setting again. Now I can actually do something about it. And what was it? 6.8. 618, 585. That times 465. 440. So it's 440 wide on my screen. Again, don't take these measurements for your own screen. And then the height, a bit more, lead 1041. 1041. And then times, what was it? That one. 797. Let's just keep it on the small side of 796. Right. So here we've got an iPhone 8, and you see that it already looks quite big, that button. So maybe I should keep to the minimum specs instead of like what I thought was cool. And then also I see that 24, like if I want it to be a half a centimeter, it should be a half times 38, which is going to be 19. So now it's half a centimeter high. it says here 19 actually does make sense when you use physical. It's a font size of 19 points. And the nice part is now that the points actually make sense. Like a 19-point font is quite big. Like we're used to reading like 10-point fonts. Not on screens though. We usually read a little bit bigger, but it just still makes sense. So that's reading text, but like 16 would, for instance, be a nice header text. And it should also be a nice size for this font. But for now, I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger because it's still a menu. Like play. This font doesn't work so well in capitals. So let's not use it in capitals. Right, so what I've got here is a simple button. No, there's no colors and stuff yet. So because just really gonna actually no sprite as well. Gonna leave that to a design session. But I could just give it a temporary color for now so that we'll know that we have to change it. Well, then definitely let's give it a color that we know it has to change. And this one will be white. And do I have a bold version? It does not look that way, or does it? Well, maybe it does. Did I have a bold version of this font? Overlock. Yes, I do have bold. I even have black. Maybe I should use black. Can't really do that though with this. Yeah, no, stupid. Well, I could go to black. Oh no, black is not nice. Oop. Black is not nice. I'll use bold. That's good. And then now 18 actually doesn't seem big enough for the button. Also, looking at this, it doesn't seem to align to me. So I think it needs a bit of a shift. That one really doesn't make sense, the midline alignment. Cap line is a bit better. Yeah, maybe it's okay. So I'm now using these and these lines as they're defined in the font to center it, which actually looks better. So what I have now, I've got a button, and I'm gonna I can make sure that my menu works even on this small size. And when I use it on different sizes, everything will scale along except for the button. So actually right now it's just the logo will scale along, but the button will definitely stay in its cool size there. What I do need to make sure is that this canvas does not, I can even just remove the graphic raycaster, and this thing does not block raycasts. It does not need to be maskable. Put everything back. No additional shader channels. Oh, hold on. I do need that. Oh yeah, of course. No, that's silly. There we go. I thought I wouldn't need any additional shader channels for that one, as long as it's on that one. Oh, there we go. They just have a bit of trouble initializing. So let's just see right now. A global actually needs to be, that's the game play. That probably won't be the same as the menu script. Actually, the logo should go a bit down now. Like that. It wasn't really, it was a bit too stuck to the top. Let's see if it actually runs in-game and just loads properly, and then the button is clickable. So that raycasts are working. No, this is not good. Okay. So which of these, normal and tangent? Normal and tangent. But it does use text coordinate one. That makes sense. I will turn it off and on. just like in IT crowd, ha ha ha. And then it is not running. Okay, so why would this not be running? Because it has the same sort order. So now if I put this 1, and this one still has, it puts that back, huh? I gave the logo sort order 1, and it should be in front of the other canvas. And now you see, now it's in front of the other canvas, but because it doesn't have a graphic raycaster, that should still work, and it does. Right, cool. So normally if you put something in front of the other thing, the raycasting might not work, but that's why I took off the raycaster of that one. I still have the graphic raycaster on that one. The tangent just keeps being added, so I'll just leave it for now. Main menu has a button that scales along. I could just make like a few more buttons and then I think I'll be done. So what I just saw when I did my little research, it's not really research, but like what there's at least is that there's a settings button. We might change that to a completely different thing, like with a cogwheel and stuff like that. There was play settings and like credits in everything. So let's start with that. I like actually settings or options. If I put it on a button, I think options is nicer, and if it's like a cogwheel in the corner, then settings seems nicer. Yeah. Now I just have to make sure these all go nicely along, and that's why we can create a vertical layout group for vertical layout group. So I'm gonna give it the same size as the play button now has, and that's 38. Nice. So I can just make this bigger, put these in there, bam, there we go, vertical layout group. And I'm just calling it button group. When I resize this, it will just space them out, and it won't put them together, I would say. But yes, that's spacing 2, and there's padding on the bottom. I don't know why that happened. That thing doesn't have, oh, weird. No, nothing is just extending it, so I guess that's just the way it works. If you do this, then oh well, that actually makes sense. If I put that to the lower bit, then it would still divide that equally. I could up this spacing thing until it really starts moving. Then I know I've got my, no, that's not true. I can up the spacing thing from something that's too low, and then I know that's my minimum spacing. I want my minimum spacing to be, well, let's say 12, and then the button group can just expand from there if needed. But that's just if I'm gonna make more. I actually don't need to give it a height. It will just go on, so that's nice. I could say control child size, then it will make it smaller. But I hope I can. I could still reverse that. So play options credits. Of course, I need to change the text. Options and credits. Oh, credits. And right now I'm gonna also do one thing that automatically starts with me. Let's localize. So this is I2 localization. You can use whatever you want, but it's a nice package. It's what a lot of people use. There used to be another one, but that's not in there anymore. So play is a term I can add to the source, and now for options I can add options to the source, and I can add credits to the source, and now there's these things I can fill in over here, or I can go to my source, which has been created right now in resources. There, I2 languages, and you see that these are cursive, like italic. There's no translation in English, so I use the translate button. Oh, no, I still need to set that up. But I would say, so for instance, there's this term here now that I have, and the term is play. Sorry, the term is credits. So I just put the English translation for there in there, and that's credits. And options will be options, and play will be play. And I can link this to a Google Drive sheet, and actually super weird that it's not used. Yes, it is used, but because I have no language to switch to. But probably if I press play, and then it will definitely show the localized version of this string. That's one thing I'm gonna put in options next time. Yeah, there we go. Play, options, credits. So now, for instance, if I add a language here, I'm gonna add Dutch, and yeah, all missing translations just fallback, default language, device language. That's also always nice. So on missing translation, it will default back to the device language, stuff like that. It's very complete. So now I'm going to go into my terms, and you see these is not complete anymore. Why? Because the Dutch one is not filled in. So actually, it might be because it's late, but I'm not sure what I'm doing here with credits. What do we call credits in Dutch? Super weird. Oopsies. Oopsies. And spelen. Right, so right now I've got do we use a different word for credits, or do we use the English word? I really don't know. So what I've got now is I can like go here and like press those languages to check the different translations, and in game I can set the different. Oh, that's awkward. I might have to update this. Well, I can set the different translations, and then it still will it will translate if I use an option or like a setting. There's a specific like default functions that you can call from buttons, but you can also just call them from a script. All right. Maybe I'll just actually have this group be start a little bit lower, just for now. Looks nicer. So 916, it all scales along. The buttons stay the same size. It's nice. If I use my setting for my iPhone, it's still nice. If I use the setting for the smallest one, you see it doesn't work anymore. So I'm gonna have to do something about that. And that's the one I actually was designing for in the first place. The smallest screen I'm designing for. And that's the 5-inch, 4.5-inch screen. Yeah, this was the 3.5-inch screen. Really doesn't work. 4.5-inch screen, just designing. I'm gonna design for that all the time to make sure that it fits. All right, did two cool things. I'm going to, oh dang, I forgot committing. I tend to do that when I'm streaming even a bit more than usually. Can I do this separately? Yes, because the first thing I did was just change code, Pinball event drawer and outlane. And then after that, I actually changed the scene. So definitely can do that. This first commit is going to be adds, let's say finishes. No, it's not finished. I have to test a lot of stuff. I have to add more. Okay, so adds error logic to, or like error testing to the pinball event drawer, and that's a commit. And then another commit for adds preliminary main menu design scale setup. The scale is set up properly. All right. Gonna push this, and then I'm gonna call it a day. It has been quite a while for me now. It has been quite a busy day already, so that's it. All right. So as usual, that's not the one. As usual, I'm going to leave you with a bit of our music. For those who haven't been here like the past 2 streams, the new piece is a soundtrack of a game from 2012. Yeah, and the adaptive version that I'm gonna play here is the let's see, the adaptive. Yeah, it's the adaptive version. So I made the first version of that soundtrack for the game Berserkle with Ludomotion, and then I made the adaptive version to have the game have different scales of like intensity to go with the gameplay. So if the game would be more intense, it would scale up to very, very, very intense. Even like you'll hear it, it's really actually quite ridiculous. But what you're hearing is like a mastered version, so it's even a bit too much. And then there's this very relaxed version. That's what it starts with. So it's just, this basically shows 3 of the layers. There's more layers in the game, but this the edit you will hear 3 versions. So thanks for watching. Please drop a like, follow, or subscribe, and yeah, we could really use those. And keep watching. It's really it's nice to have watchers all the time. I really love doing this already, but it's really more even nicer if people are watching. So I really like that. Yeah, for now I'm just gonna leave you with that music. It's a bit loud now, but it's yeah, it's 4 minutes. I hope you enjoyed as well, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.